Lucretia. Hey, what's up, Lucretia? She says, hey, have you ever optimized a GMB using map directions and Web 2s? Meaning you get map directions to the GMB location from areas you're not ranking and putting those links on Web 2s. Well, yeah, I mean, map directions, they've been known to help for sure. I've not tested specifically with just Web 2s, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it could work doing like embeds. Where I found embeds are for those types of things are better is in relevant content, not just content, but like themed Web 2.0 sites. Does that make sense? So, you can go out and get embed gigs that are on Web 2 networks that are spammed to death with, all different kinds of industries. And so the topics are mixed and very, it's not specialized. It's not very focused on a particular topic or industry. And I found those to be less valuable, a lot less valuable than if you can find niche specific or niche relevant. So like industry specific type of embeds. So those would be like Web 2s that are themed around particular industries. And they can be kind of broad in that, like, just for an example, like home services, right? Home improvement / home services type of networks that could potentially like embed networks, right? Web 2.0 networks that can be used for embeds that are themed around home improvement, home services, that kind of stuff. Because then, you could mix different types of like industries, roofing and tree service stuff and plumbing and things like that. And it would still make sense because at least it's on like topically relevant, at least on a broad sense, topically relevant Web 2 networks. I found that to be more effective. Now, where do you find those? Well, that's hard. That's difficult to do. I've gotten away from doing a lot of any kind of bulk link building of any sort because I found that topical relevance is absolutely what is the most effective right now. And not just page relevance, but domain relevance is most important. And that's what I built my entire link building business around, is domain relevance. And it is working so much better than anything else out there that I know of, that I've personally tested. I'm not saying you can't get results from other things. I've just not experienced the kind of results that I do with the type of link building that I'm doing now. So with that said, you can go check on like Legit, for example, and see if you can find some themed network providers for embed runs. I've tested a few of those, and there's a couple of them that they're okay, they're fairly decent. But like I said, I've gotten away from doing mass links of any sort, including embeds, just because I've not seen the effectiveness. Like, even a year ago, it was much more effective than it is now. And I think it has to do with topical relevance. And it's difficult to do that unless you build your own network. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. I know that you can get results from doing stuff like that. There is no question. In fact, Mateo over at GMB Crush, if you guys aren't a member of the GMB Crush group, Facebook group, go join it. It's free. He posts a lot of really good content in the Facebook group, like posts in the Facebook group that are like blog posts with all kinds of tests and things that he's finding out that work well for Google Business. And that he just posted in the last week about maybe a week and a half or so about changing the photos for Google Business posts to photos, screenshots of driving directions in Google Maps. And so Google post photos, right? So Google Business posts, but using, instead of like stock images, which aren't recommended anyways, using screenshots of driving directions and screenshots of Google Maps around that local business, right? And using those as the post photos. And it adds location relevance to the post because Google reads those photos and can recognize those landmarks and those areas. And seeing movement in Google Maps. So in other words, the Google Business profile moved positively in Maps because of just doing that. So he tests things in isolation. And again, if you go join the GMB Crush group, Facebook group, it's free. You can see within the last week and a half or so that he just posted that. Very, very interesting. And then he also has another post about using Google's Vision, which is the photo like processing, AI that Google has that can like identify entities within images. And he shows that, like, again, another test that he ran, it's a great group, and Mateo's badass, but he ran another test where he took stock images off of a Google Business profile, and replaced them with images that he ran through the Google Vision API and was able to, he basically, selected images and ran them through the Google Vision to determine what the entities were that Google identified as the primary entities, the supporting entities within the image. And he found images that were the most appropriate. I think it was a dentist that so a dental practice that he did this on. I think that was it. Anyways, he so basically replaced stock images with images that were the entities for that business. In other words, that were entities relevant to that business, and saw significant movement in maps, if that makes sense, just because Google is reading those. And that's one of the ways that you can optimize now, besides EXIF data, right, which is the metadata that we can add, like geo coordinates and all that kind of stuff. Besides doing that, you can actually optimize the image itself, or choose images that Google is recognizing through its Vision API, essentially, the entities that you want associated with that particular business. So that might be something else you'd be wanting to try. I don't know if that answers your question, Lucretia. I've not tested what you were asking about. I know that you can get results with that kind of stuff, but hey, Jesper, what's up, buddy? But I think more so with topically relevant networks, if you're going to be doing like embeds and stuff like that, that's where I see the best results. Okay.